Hi, this is Mark from LongIslandWatch.com. Got a pretty cool new release to show you today. So Hemel came out with the Air Wing last year. It's a 42 millimeter chrono, mechanical chrono driven by a Seagull ST-19. And the watch was immensely popular. He made kind of a limited edition Air League version out of it, which was also 42 millimeters. But because the watch was so popular, and because Marvin is so kind of like, he's kind of like me. He's like very engaged with the customer base. People say, "Hey, will you make it in 40?" So he made it in 40, slimmed it down also by about a millimeter and a half or so, and we have the new Air Wing, which comes in three colors. You're going to be looking at black, the full Loom dial, which is awesome, and an olive, which I'm not a biggest fan of the olive, but hey, maybe you will like it. We will look at them all. So you already saw the Air League, and then on my other wrist, I'm wearing the Islander ISL 67, the waffle dial Islander. Let's check out the Air Wing. A very smart man once told me, you always bet on a winning horse, right? So it was actually someone that worked for me, and still does work for me. And they probably told me that like 10 or 15 years ago, one of the first people that ever worked for me. And I guess Marvin from Hemel, he kind of takes the same advice. So he had the watch I showed in the intro. I mean, this was the Air League, but he had the Air Foil, which is this 42 millimeter Seagull-driven mechanical chrono. Really beautiful watch. But people were asking him, hey, make it in 40. So he kept a lot of the design the same, and he just delivered it in 40 millimeters, keeping the price the same. And gives you three dial colors to choose from. You get the black, the olive, and the full Loom. So I'm actually going to use the black for our little review sample. And let's go over it. Let's see, I set the time before, but of course, now the hand moved. There we go, perfect. So the case is now, instead of 42, it's a very comfortable 40 millimeters. And then the thickness to this slightly domed sapphire crystal is 13.4 millimeters. The old 42 millimeter was a little bit thicker. So we're at 40 by 13.4. And then our lug tip to lug tip is a very, very comfortable 47 millimeters. Okay, we have an exhibition case back, and you can see the Seagull ST-19 movement doing its thing, and it does have, if you pay attention, I did a video on this a while ago, the swan's neck regulator. I guess it was a watch and learn. I'll try to throw a card up here. So I'll put it over here. So that's a swan's neck regulator for the ST-19. Really beautiful. You have a 20 millimeter lug, and if you were paying attention when I flipped it, the straps come with these quick release spring bars. So you don't need a tool to take the strap off. Depending on what you're putting on, though, you may need a tool to put that strap on. Sign crown. Let's see, 100 meters of water resistance, though I don't know who would actually use this in the water, because it's clearly not a water watch, especially on a leather strap. So the ST-19 is a mechanical chronograph, clearly. It is a column wheel chronograph, and I guess I should have shown that when it was flipped. What the heck? There is a wheel down here. You can see it right there, with the teeth that are very raised, and there's a lever that gets admitted and rejected as the spokes rotate while you activate and deactivate the chrono. And that's what is engaging and disengaging the chronograph. The chronograph-driven seconds is this center wheel, and you see here right by my thumb. And then this wheel is always moving. And when we activate the chrono, these two wheels engage. The center seconds is moving. And I press it again, they disengage. So now center seconds is not moving. And that's a reset. What's interesting about the ST-19, and some other mechanical chronograph movements, but not all, is that when you start the chrono, start-stop, you're actually precocking reset. So start and stop is a decent amount of force, but reset is a very easy press because you've already cocked the mechanism here. Okay, enough. The bezel is loomed ceramic. It is unidirectional rotating, but it is a dual time insert. So It kind of has a lot of function to it. The Seagull is a 30-minute elapsed minute chronograph, so it also makes sense being a 12-hour bezel because you can use it now to time hours if you want, and now your 30-minute chronograph just became a 12-hour chronograph running seconds at 9 bi-compacts, meaning 2 sub-dials is written on the dial, and Hemel at the 12. Very nice dial work. The dial is just a little bit different than the airfoil, but you can tell Marvin is an industrial designer, does a great job. Nice white hands, beautiful loom, and obviously we'll do a loom shot on all 3 at the end. Let's see. So this is your $4.99, the same price as the other guys. So this is your black dial. This is your green dial. Olive green, olive drab. It's drab to me. It is drab. Just not a fan of this one. I think Marvin knew that too when he was selling it to me over the phone. He's like, oh, you probably just want the black and the ivory. I don't think you liked the olive. And I'm like, nah, maybe if I don't like it, doesn't matter. I mean, to you guys, if you like it, that's great. So this is the olive dial. Okay, I guess very military, right? And then the full loom dial. So it's interesting how he does the full loom because, you know, when I'm looking around, see if I have any. I don't. When I do Islanders, the full loom is definitely more of a creamy, a whiter kind of color. I don't expect this to do a full glow, but he does it. So it looks really, really nice. But everything else about the watch is the same size, functionality. If you guys get it and you see blue on the buttons, and this also goes for Seagull 1963 chronos. I can't stress this enough. This is protective plastic. These buttons are dipped in this. I don't know if they're dipped or I don't think they're applied stickers. I think they're dipped, such that when they're in the manufacturing process, the packing process, kitting, sorting, whatever, if they hit each other, you know, they don't. See, there's no metal on metal clanking you hear because it's plastic. Sometimes it falls off, as in the case of this one. So if you get it and it's got the blue, no, you did not get a watch with a cabochon. Take a toothpick, a wooden toothpick, because it won't scratch the watch, and just scratch it off, and it will pop off. Let's see. That's about it. Let's try it on. That is awesome. It fits great. 40 millimeters, 47 on the lug tip to lug tip. Extremely, extremely comfortable. Like I said, I wear the 42. Which is 49 tip to tip, so it still fits me okay, but this will definitely fit a wider variety of wrists. Here I am on the strap if you want to pay it. If you want to play along at home, probably down to about a 6-inch wrist pretty easily, and probably up to 7 3/4 or so. But maybe at 7 3/4, you should be looking at the full 42 millimeter diameter one. Really nice though. Let's check out the loom. So full loomy first. What can I say? Even what's really nice, even the sub-dials glow. It looks really cool. Easy to read, obviously. Let's check out the black dial. There is the black dial. I'll start the chrono so you can see the seconds hand start to move. Easy to read, easy to tell the time. Everything glows, I would say, the way it should. Before I close the video, I guess I did not show the chronograph really in real action. So I started it just during the loom shot. I'm still letting it go. So if you watch the counter at the 3, it's not a steady click over. It is, once it gets to around 59 or 60, you'll actually see it flop over to the 1 minute position. So it's kind of almost like a digital indicator of sorts, if you will, if you get what I mean. I know it's not digital, but see, it's like a step function. So now 1 minute has elapsed, and I'll stop it, and then when I reset it, because it is all mechanically driven, it is a spring, and it pops right back to 0. I think that'll do it. So I guess I'll get the olive one in here. I don't want to make them feel bad. This has been Mark from LongEyeWatch.com showing you the Hemel Air Wing. Please like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you've not done so. Questions or comments, put them down below, and I'll be sure to address them as soon as I can. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.